Blizzard or Diary, you decide. Kick it! Alright, we're going to decide which is the better Ozzy Osbourne solo record, the first one or the second one. Talking about Ozzy as a kid, I idolized pretty much Ozzy Osbourne. Big fan of his up until No Rest for the Wicked. Then I kind of dropped off. No More Tears, listen to that. After No More Tears, I'm sorry, Oz, just wasn't interested in his releases too much. But I tell you, as a kid, I think my brother officially owned Blizzard of Oz, and I quickly took that from his little record stack and put it with my Blues Brothers soundtrack and my Journey and my Rush 2112 and Cheap Trick records and snuck it in there with my stack. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Also had a little scrapbook of Ozzy when I was a kid. We'll show you a little bit of that. And on the Ultimate Sin Tour with Metallica opening up, I finally got to see my idol, Ozzy Osbourne. I remember being at the stadium, UIC Pavilion, just like, wow, I'm in the same building that Ozzy Osbourne is in. Just mind blown. No, of course, a lot of people were there, and Metallica was outstanding. Ozzy and Jakey Lee actually didn't put on a great show when I saw them. I think that is my only time seeing Mr. Ozzy Osbourne. Alright, we'll give you a little background about these two records. Both were recorded at Ridge Farm Studios, which is in England, a beautiful 12-acre lot. They had recorded Bad Company, Jethro Tull, Thin Lizzy, so why not Ozzy? Right after Ozzy got kicked out of Black Sabbath, he would say, maybe I left Black Sabbath, but they were kind of through with him not being able to sing. Ozzy was a mess in those early years. So April 1979, Black Sabbath said, no more Ozzy. Sharon Osbourne started hanging out with him around this time, and he was, the good thing about Sharon Osbourne is she was able to keep him alive and productive, so he can start a solo band. A lot of bad things about Sharon Osbourne, of course, the way she runs the business around him. Many musicians have complained about her. She seems like you get on her bad side and you're going to stay on that bad side forever. So enough about her. Let's get into Ozzy. March 22nd, 1980. March 22nd, I turned 9 years old. In 1980, they're going into the studio. It took them 4 weeks to do Blizzard of Oz. We're talking about Ozzy Osbourne, of course, Randy Rhoads, the new guitar player, the hot kid that he got from the LA scene, and Mr. Bob Daisley on bass, and Lee Kerslake on drums. Now, Lee Kerslake has since passed away. Bob Daisley is still alive. And, of course, Ozzy is still alive. He's 74 when this video is being made, summer 2023. He'll be 75 later on this year, and it is a miracle that he's still alive. He's had his addiction with everything from cough syrup to heroin. Blizzard of Oz was the best-selling, it still is, solo album of Ozzy. Over 4 million sold. Unfortunately, Blizzard and Diary of Madman were re-recorded in 2002. Bass player from Metallica, 2002. He wasn't in Metallica. He re-recorded those tracks. And Mr. Mike Borden from Faith No More and also from Ozzy's solo career later on, he re-recorded the drums. I did listen to a few songs of the re-recording. Yeah, I'll stick with the original. And that's what we're going to talk about is the original. That's what the scores are based on to figure out which album is better. So let's get to the scoring. What I did was listen to every track. Now you'll notice that Blizzard of Oz has 9 songs and Diary of Madman has 8 songs. So to make it fair, I took out D, which is a little guitar instrumental thing, less than a minute long. So without D, it makes it an equal 8 verse 8. And let's go song by song. Alright, so let's start with Blizzard of Oz, his first album, recorded March 1980 to April 80 and released shortly after. And the first song is I Don't Know. I'm going to score these songs 1 to 10. Keep scoring. Let me know in the comments below which record you did. Now, if you look at record rankings, like on any websites, they always put Blizzard of Oz above Diary of Madman. Now, when I went on a Facebook social media page for like heavy metal and hard rock, I'm like, and this was like, I don't know, 6 months ago. I was like, which ones do you guys like? Whoa, 80 to 85% said Diary of Madman over Blizzard of Oz. So let's see what I say. Blizzard of Oz, like I said, first song starts off with I Don't Know. To me, it's the quintessential perfect Ozzy Osbourne song. The lyrics of like not understanding, not trusting or understanding things. I don't know. Don't look at me. People are already worshiping this ex-Black Sabbath singer. Oh, he's a god. It's like, I don't know. I like the lyrics a lot. The riff is outstanding. Really catchy stuff. I gave it a 9.5 out of 10. Song number 2, Crazy Train. If you haven't heard come on. Crazy Train, fortunately, is probably the most overplayed Ozzy Osbourne song. It's got a great guitar solo. I wish I could turn back the hands of time and not hear it 5 million times and enjoy that song. It's like a newer song, but it is what it is. The solo is amazing. It's iconic Ozzy. I gave it a 9. Song after that is Goodbye to Romance. It's an excellent slow song for Ozzy. It's got nice lyrics, not too cheesy for slow song. I gave it a 7.5. Suicide Solution, of course we're not including D. Suicide Solution. Ozzy said it's about Bon Scott. He talked to other people in the band, like kind of wrote it and kind of told Ozzy it's about himself, at that point. And soon, all through the 80s, the guy's pretty much killing himself. But like I say, he's still alive to this day. The riff is great. The echoey vocals are really good. Interesting subject matter. So I gave it a 7. Mr. Crowley, about Aleister Crowley. I think me and a lot of kids in the 80s would look up his literature in the high school library and be all mysterious. Ooh, what's this Aleister Crowley guy, Of course, he was like a cult, Satanist kind of guy. Wanted people to think freely and not just get trapped into religion. So Aleister Crowley wrote that song, Mr. Crowley, about him. Iconic, epic keyboard intro. It's crazy subject matter. The outro solo by Randy Rhoads is excellent. I gave it an 8.5 for Mr. Crowley. No Bones Movie. A silly, silly song. It's a cute little song for Ozzy. Like I said, these first 2 solo albums are excellent, perfect. Later Ozzy stuff, hit or miss, but you can't go wrong with either of these. Really, these first 4 or 5 solo albums are just great. So I don't mean if I score anything low that it sucks. It's still excellent. But anyway, No Bone Movies. I gave it a 6. Revolution Mother Earth is a good song. It builds, and the payoff is at the second half of that song. Extremely melodic, great. I gave it a 7. And it ends with Steal Away the Night. Kind of a hidden gem for me. I've always loved the upbeat Ozzy songs. It's a really catchy chorus. It's not a throwaway song at all. Usually sometimes when the last song on the album, the group is like, I don't know, is anyone even still listening to this at this point? No, I am listening. Steal Away the Night, I think, is excellent. I give it an 8. So you add up all those scores, and we have 62.5 for Blizzard of Oz. Now, Diary of Madman, like I said, pretty much just the same musicians, same everyone, although they're going to say, no, wasn't Rudy Sarzo and Tommy Aldridge, playing the drum. No, same musicians, a little more produced by Max Norman, but just add on almost a year later, and we're putting out this. Starts off, of course, with the great drum intro to Over the Mountain. I gave that song an 8. It's a great song. Next song is Flying High Again. Of course, it's classic Ozzy. He's high when he's singing it or drunk. He's been drunk and high majority of his life. So it's classic Ozzy Osbourne. I gave that song a 9, obviously. After that, You Can't Kill Rock and Roll is, again, it builds. It's got great subject matter. When you're a teenager, as I was listening to this stuff, you're just like, yeah, you can't kill rock and roll, man. It's no way, man. Rock and roll forever. Unfortunately, true, rock and roll is still out there. It's not hitting the charts anymore, and it's not the most popular kind of music anymore. Unfortunately, kids are missing out. Rock and roll is the best, but whatever. I digress. You Can't Kill Rock and Roll. I gave that an 8. Believer, to me, Believer on this album was the No Bones Movie of Blizzard. Just probably the weakest song on the album. Again, great song, but probably the overall kind of the weakest. I gave it a 6. Little Dolls. To me, that has that Nowhere to Run. Of course, that's a line that's used in a lot of songs. Nowhere to Run. What was that? The 50s, 60s songs. Not the Supremes, but I'll put the name down here. Want them to get credit. So that's a great song. But anyways, yeah, so that whole lyric, nowhere to run. Really catchy vocals, a great tune. I gave it a 7. Tonight is another slower song for Ozzy, and it's really catchy. Runs a little long, along with Believer and Little Dolls. They're all over 5 minutes. If you would have cut something a little bit and made them around 4, maybe it would have flowed a little better. I don't know. What the hell am I talking about? I'm not as rich as Ozzy Osbourne. But anyway, Tonight I thought was really good. I gave it a 7.5. SATO. It's a syncopated, really cool song. It's not a popular Ozzy song. Like I said, each of these albums have huge hits of his, and then they have songs that lesser known. But SATO, I think, is a great song. I gave it a 7.5. It closes off with the title track. The album cover, I mean, each album cover, he knocked it out of the park. Usually if an artist is like, well, put me on the cover, they're just like in blue jeans or trying to look cool. Ozzy's like, no, I'm going to dress up and be weird. Of course, it even gets more weirder the next 2 albums. But like, yeah, Blizzard of Oz with the cross, that's just awesome. And here, that's his son in the corner. Of course, a lot of people know him with the Osbournes and his son Jack. And Amy you don't see on the show at all, his oldest daughter. But you see Kelly, of course, but he had a son from his previous marriage. That's his son there. Anyway, I digress. Ends with Diary of Madman, like I said, the title track. This is classic Ozzy Osbourne. Great work on all the performers on that one, and I give it a 9. So you add that up. Now, Blizzard got a 62.5. Diary of a Madman, add it all up, and it gets a 62.0. So, by a half point, if I was going on an island, hey, you can only take one Ozzy Osbourne record with you. What are you talking about, cruise ship dude who's going to leave me on the island? I don't know what the hell I'm talking about at this point. I would say, all right, because this scored to 62.5, I'm going to take Blizzard of Oz. Like I said, let me know in the comments below which one you like more of these two. And as always, as I slowly get this off, and as always, thanks for watching.